Oh, and broads, by the way, if you have not listened to our Tuesday episode, The Final Haunting with Roz Hernandez, we love you so much, Roz. You need to listen because at the end of that episode, Becca purchases on eBay 2 haunted dolls to keep in our studio and decides to play a little bit of a prank on the bros by specifically addressing it to the studio and to the bros to make it look like it is a plug something for the bros to open. So they have no idea that one of the packages that they will be opening for Plug Something is something we purchased, aka haunted dolls. So make sure to tune into that at the end of this episode during their Plug Something segment because, wow, are they freaked out and confused? All right, let's get into it.
And welcome to another episode of Chatty Broads with Becca and Jess.
Well,
tell me this is going to make it in.
This is not making it in.
This is on, Evan.
Brutally boring.
My beer is getting warm. How is this brutally boring? This is going in.
I'm falling asleep right
now. Tell me you put in some of that. And
I'm hearing about some guy.
3. You and Becca, dude, would have gotten along. It's insane. You know, Becca recently almost got canceled for shit talking the Grateful Dead. She was making fun of me on her Instagram and said that she thinks the Grateful Dead sucks, and all these people then started sending is as close to a full-blown cancellation as I've ever seen.
Really? Listen,
like 7
so
people
she was
got really
posting
upset
on Instagram about her about being
anti-Grateful Dead.
Got it. And then
making fun of me,
and then people were getting mad
because I was playing it in the house, and then she was like,
"Got it.
Oh, I wonder what's playing."
Yeah, right. Well,
anyway, so
let me be clear. I am not an anti-Grateful Dead, but what I will say in support of your criticism of me there was that before we started, Grayson was going into a extremely
diatribe,
detailed
Jerry Garcia
analysis of one of the band members' career into jazz and his albums when he was it was just like very deep. It was niche
jazz.
into niche into doubling down into niche. And so he was like, I really hope this makes the episode. And that's when I just said, like, I think it's
I liked
not
us
the
talking
most
about it.
Well, we weren't talking about it.
No,
you were talking for 20
afterwards.
minutes about it. And
20 minutes? Oh my God. I haven't even been at your house for 20 minutes.
And then at some point I said, okay, great, totally. That's really cool, man. All right, let's start the episode.
Oh my God. I talked for 30 seconds about an interest of mine. Meanwhile, Evan runs my ear off about how he's going to get his kitchen redone. Oh, and he doesn't know if he wants to do the cabinets himself or if he's going to hire them out.
Well, see, I brought that up.
How many times do we circle back?
Well, you engaged heavily with it because you have experience in that field.
You were listening heavily. You're telling me you weren't engaged? You weren't interested in what I was doing? You left me alone here.
First of all, I didn't say it wasn't interesting at all. All I said was it's not quite podcast material. That was it. That
left
was really
me alone here while you fiddled around with your electronics.
And then also, I didn't bring this into the episode. You then said, "All right, well, I need to air a grievance."
Well, sometimes, sometimes what we talk about before the show should really make it onto the show.
That is very true. Sometimes it is electric, and that's why we'll even sometimes go like, we should stop. We should stop. Let's get into it.
Let's start. We're really vibing right now.
We are really vibing.
In fact, to show you guys how much I vibed, we and Evan don't know how this happened, but again, I'm guilty of opening my beer before the session and finished it.
The pre-beer.
I don't know. I was on my last sip, and then
it was
like,
actually kind of crazy too because
open.
You grabbed it like 3 minutes ago, and then I'm like, all right, let's get started, and then the beer was gone.
And I was like, did you even see me open this?
I thought
he didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah, and I thought you were pointing out to me that there was a leftover beer here, and I was like, oh yeah, sorry, I should have cleaned that up.
All I'm gonna say,
and then it's like, oh no, this was the beer I just had.
I don't know how it happened.
It was immediately.
But I've been listening to The Shining.
You know when you sleepwalk and eat? When people do that? That was that. You black out drank. I
Like
guess.
when you just like you suddenly come to driving and you're like, how is this happening?
That is some weird business.
Not
When
from
you're-
being drunk, when you're
No,
just
no,
like
you're just
zoned
zoning,
out on the freeway,
and
you're in your
20
head.
minutes into the freeway and you're like, I don't even
All of a
know
sudden
where I
you're
am.
like, where the fuck am I?
You missed
Did I
that-
miss my
missed
exit?
exit
Like,
four
where am
exits
I?
ago?
Or you haven't, and you're like autopilot exit.
Yeah.
You have no clue. You're just like, what just happened?
I've had it to where I have missed my exit, but then I've also thought,
Same.
well, how did I even get here? And then all of a sudden my brain decided not to grab the exit.
That's
like,
the Matrix,
that's a weird
my
one.
guy. That was like you're getting, reprogrammed by the machines.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a
Interesting.
glitch, and the agents got you and
What is it?
reset your wiring or something.
The glitch is when there's a deja vu, right? When you have deja vu, that's the glitch.
That can be a glitch. All of those things. I mean, look, all I want to say about the beers, I've been listening to The Shining.
Listening.
Yeah, audiobooking The Shining.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And, it's just spooky.
Wait, so you've been
I don't know where the beer went.
You've been listening to the audiobook of a horror story. Well, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's what you should do, but I'm more just like, that's kind of cool. It's like, I feel like horror is not one of those genres anymore or as much that people read. You know what I mean? It's become such a visual thing now that like reading horror is pretty cool.
Oh, dude, a lot of the good stuff is based on books.
Right.
But yeah, I will say certain books don't translate well to the audio experience. I firmly
Right.
believe that actual stories translate well. Like, it doesn't matter if it's fiction or nonfiction, but it's hard to explain it, but like journalistic type books don't translate very well to an audio experience to me.
It's interesting
It's
you
gotta
say
be like
that.
a journey of a story.
Also, I would imagine because you're a big reader, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine you have a lot of experience in this. I would imagine that certain books thrive in the audio context, and then certain ones need your own voice. Because I would imagine horror is like adventure in a way, where it's like you almost need to kind of create your own identity with it, so that when you're reading it, you're kind of like fantasizing what his voice would be like, or when the character's talking, you're kind of fantasizing what that would sound like, and you kind of have to put your own spin on it to like get really enveloped. But if they're like, and the little guys, and you're like, oh shoot, now I'm out of it because I don't like that guy's voice. I would bet horror is kind of like that too. Like, I need the suspense.
You do need it. It's really fun. It's more like, it's like a campfire story.
Right.
In this
it's
way.
all about the person doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fun. I also think it helps with listening skills.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
no, like the things that don't work, like you made me the thing I'm reading that I wouldn't listen to is an essay collection by James Baldwin. So like that, it's stuff where I have to go, like, as I'm reading it, I go back and reread.
Right.
Like a single page I'll reread 2 to 3 times.
Versus like biographies, nonfiction, all that's great audio.
Exactly. With
because
character
it's
building
facts.
and all this. These are like, this guy's like making statements.
But you need
and
to,
he's
yeah.
referencing things, and you got to go back and you got to be like, wait. How did that just build on what he previously said? Let me reread what he previously said. Come back to this. Like, even in, I heard they had Miss Lovato on today.
Oh,
the
yes.
girls.
No, Lignato.
Yeah. So following her thing of like, she inspired me to dive back into philosophy.
Right.
On my backpacking trip before it, we were listening to Plato's, I forget the fucking name of it. Anyway, it's Plato's accounting of Socrates' last speech, the Apology. And Socrates gives this speech after he's being put to death. I won't go into a whole explanation.
Got it.
But that is a great thing to listen to audibly, because it's a speech.
Right. It's a speech. It
was
fact,
intended.
or it's yeah, exactly.
It intended that way. And then, we had also brought along, I was diving into Nietzsche, but it's like, those
Yeah.
are essays that you need to read, and like you reread like the same kind of a thing. It's like, to me, these are good examples
As a
of
philosophy major, right? Philosophy, is that what you were? Or
religious
you were-
studies and history.
which is kind of that you're hanging with
It's
philosophy
fair.
people.
It's thinking. It's just
Nietzsche or Nietzsche or Nietzsche.
I don't speak it.
Because I always think Nietzsche.
Nietzsche.
Not Nietzsche.
Maybe it's wherever you are.
You know what it is? Ibiza.
Ne-
Ibiza.
Yeah.
What is it? You know?
So I'm saying it'd be northern or southern.
Who knows?
It's definitely not Nietzsche though.
That doesn't seem correct.
It's that one's wrong.
That's Ibiza.
But yeah, we all know who we're talking about when you're like the Nietzsche,
Yeah,
the
you know the Nietzsche
angry
guy.
guy.
Yeah, the pissed off guy that
The
doesn't
really
believe in
angry
anything.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. By the way, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good.
It was?
Yeah. It was, let me think here. The weekend feels like a long time ago. Actually, you know what? This weekend was very relaxing. Our entire house was sick. Everyone was sick. We sat around and watched a lot of movies. My favorite, we all were basically just lazy pieces of shit and sat around and watched TV. It was very cloudy and muggy.
It was cuddly.
It was a nice cuddle time.
Those are good times.
How was your weekend?
It was good. We went down to the in-laws, Jess's mom and dad's, both their houses. So we went to mom's house because we were kind of celebrating with family Jess's birthday along with Jess's sister's boyfriend's birthday. They're kind of similar, so we kind of did like a couple family birthdays, which was nice. And mellow, and like you said, it was kind of cloudy, so we went down to the beach and just walked around. It sounds like we had good family weekends.
That sounds lovely.
But dude, we just, so are you and Becca, are you guys screen people while bedtime? You don't.
I would.
And she's very anti.
Extremely so.
Got it. So what does bedtime look like?
Bedtime usually is Becca telling me to turn off the TV and me being like, no, and like holding
Do you have a TV in your room?
No.
Got it. So this is you out she's in bed.
Again, I would.
Right. No. I'm just trying to understand give me the look of it.
We're on the couch.
Okay, chilling, watching some TV.
By
the way, there was a TV thing for a long time. Is that gone now?
It was gone.
Oh, it's back. It's been reintroduced.
Has reared its ugly head.
By the way, if you don't know what we're talking about, basically he had a TV allowance.
I love TV.
Right.
I love TV. My family makes TV.
Right. Your dad makes TV for a
lot
living.
of my friends growing up's families made TV. So we were like, that was, TV was it was a thing. Everyone I knew watched it. We all watched it. You watched for your friends.
very
you
much
watched
a
for
part of
people
it.
You knew, all that shit. Yeah.
Dad's new show's coming out. Watch that.
They watch everything because, it's like, anyway, so it was like family shit. That was like, and you talk through the whole thing or whatever. So yeah, we go out and we would get sent all the movies.
So you get to see things before and all the screeners
so
and everything.
It was like a whole thing. Anyway, whatever. Becca is not as that. She's not that way.
For sure.
She's not like I could watch one movie straight into another movie kind of person.
So
she can barely make it through a movie.
So during COVID, I know there was kind of a rule where it's like, hey, we only bust the TV out during certain times, and then you're saying that went away for a while, and now it's back. We used to put the TV in the garage and only pull it out to watch movies after the kids were in bed, and only a couple times a week. Got it.
That was extreme. Then we brought it back. And then we did only like TV nights.
Got it.
Were like Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Got it.
Saturday, TV nights.
Got it.
And then we just kind of stopped paying attention to that after a little bit. Right. Because things were like, oh, we're watching, Bachelor and whatever. It was just like a thing. And then we just started like, there was a series where it was just shit where we were like, we were just watching more TV. Then we got sick.
Which is like TV time.
Bing, bing, bing. A lot of it has to do with the kids and how much TV the kids are watching and time that we're spending together, where it's like, we're exhausted when the kids go to sleep. And so it's like, it doesn't feel good to have a list of things that you want to do, whether it's like, let's organize this section of the house, or like, let's clean these things, or hey, let's make this thing together. It's very easy once the kids are in bed to be like, TV on, dude, we got like 2 hours apiece. Let's just watch a movie.
Of course. So, but what you're saying, it's back to more of a regulation.
It fucking transformed into, I'm going to sell the TV.
I'm going to sell it. And you're like, you're going to be, how like, it's like, you're like, there's like archetype of like it starts cheating, but it's like, you're not going to be cheating. You're going to have a secret warehouse just full of TVs.
I have a TV in my office.
Full of TVs. And it's a place you go. And one day she's going to think you're cheating and she's going to follow you. And then she's going to be like, I knew you were cheating. And she opens the door and it's just you like.
I'm like, well, dude, I'm like all through college. It was like,
right.
TV's on while we study. All through high school, it's like TV's just on.
Okay, broads, quick pause from the bros. So lately my life has felt like it is in a constant state of chaos, to put it lightly. Maybe it's the start of the new school year. Maybe it's the eclipse we just got out of. Blame it on whatever you want, but I'll take any help I can get that makes my day-to-day life just a little bit easier. If you're with me, then you've got to give Daily Harvest a try. They're the company that keeps me fed with delicious and nutritious meals, no matter how chaotic everything else around me gets.
Daily Harvest takes care of everything. All you have to do is prepare and enjoy. But there's like virtually zero preparation. From breakfast to dessert, they have endless options. Everything's also built on organic fruits and vegetables and really nothing else. So, for breakfast options, they have delicious smoothies. We always have the smoothies stocked in our freezer. For lunch, they have soups. For dinners, you have options like harvest bowls or flatbreads. And they have so much more.
And everything stays nice and fresh in your freezer until you're ready to eat it. There's virtually zero prep. All you need is a few minutes and you've got a delicious, nutritious meal ready to go. It could not be easier or more delicious.
You deserve one less thing to worry about. Let Daily Harvest take care of the fruits and veggies for you. Go to dailyharvest.com/chatty, get up to $40 off your first box. That's dailyharvest.com/chatty for up to $40 off your first box. dailyharvest.com/chatty.
Okay, so now that we're getting closer to the holidays, I can tell you a little secret about myself, okay? Believe it or not, your girl, during the holidays, has a deep passion for dabbling in baking. Now, I may not be great at it, but wow, nothing gets me in the holiday spirit more than baking on baking on baking. And this year, I also have another secret, but this secret I'm pretty positive will improve the overall baking experience. And I'm going to tell you that secret. It's my brand new Caraway nonstick bakeware set.
Oh my God, I love Caraway. I just made roasted vegetables on their one of their baking pans tonight. I love them. Their cooking and bakeware collections are designed different from most things you find in modern kitchens. They are not coated with chemicals you can't pronounce. And the scary thing about having your cookware or bakeware coated in chemicals is they can leach into the food you cook. No, thank you.
No, thank you is right. But Caraway contains a chemical-free ceramic coating so you can cook and bake with peace of mind. And, by the way, it makes cleaning up a breeze, for real. You can choose from the cookware set or the bakeware set, both of which come with easy access storage solutions, no lids required. And let me tell you something. Fact is, I have had the Caraway cookware set for quite some time now, and it changed the game in our kitchen. I love it. Evan is obsessed with Caraway. I cannot tell you the glee in his eyes when our new bakeware set arrived. We'll be fighting over it. We love Caraway so much. I cannot wait to use this bakeware set this holiday season. And you already know I will be reporting back.
Visit carawayhome.com/chatty to take advantage of this limited offer, and you'll get 10% off your next purchase. This is also a great gift for the holidays. The deal is exclusive just for our listeners. Visit carawayhome.com/chatty or use code chatty at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern.
Well, let me just
background TV.
The reason why I bring this up,
background TV shows.
So this is I guess this is, you could say this is in support of Becca, because me and Jess have gotten so used to like work. We both are working a lot, and like you get used to this thing like where you're working, you come home, same type of thing you're talking about. You finally just have a moment, and then you're like TV, right? So. And we would even carry the TV into the bedroom where it's like, we're falling asleep watching something on a laptop, or like, just kind of, and that became almost like absolutely a bedtime ritual. And I just noticed, I was like, dude, something's off with me. I feel kind of anxious and not sleeping that good. And so we both just kind of had this conversation where like, let's just an hour before bed, completely no screens allowed, and see if it helps. Dude, it has been like transformative.
Oh, really?
for my brain. Like,
How so?
well, we just like create some vibey lights in the bedroom and then just go to bed and just kind of sit there and maybe talk a little bit, or like, you know what I mean? Just chill there for a minute. And all of a sudden it's like, you notice your brain starts to like shut off slowly and relax slowly. And it's like, we're sleeping better, waking up better. Very interesting. And again, we were abusing it. Like we were watching TV every night, falling asleep to it every night. You know what I mean? It wasn't like watching TV then go to bed with no TV. It was like watching some TV and then falling asleep to TV. Dude, it's been a game changer. It's been awesome. Big fan of it. I know this is not helping your argument, and so if we need to edit this, I understand.
It's not that it's not helping my argument. It's just, to me, there's like different types of people, you know?
100%. And we were kind of, you know, going much harder than what you're talking about. Like,
Dude,
you
I'm
know.
like, I don't know like what's wrong with my brain, but I have to have stimulation. I like have to.
But I think that's where we are, and I think the forced non-stimulation weirdly kind of resets the brain.
Fall asleep listening to audiobooks.
Right.
Because, dude, even the psychiatrist was like, you should.
Oh, interesting.
Because they were talking about like, I'm not the only, it's very common, but I have like out of control thoughts.
Right. Your
at night.
brain's just
non-fucking stop.
Right.
I won't go to sleep.
Right.
It's just
Isn't that weird how you
spiraling.
can be exhausted and the second you lay down, your brain's like, let's go.
Dude, the moment I'm not doing something, my brain's going 1,000 miles an hour. I am never like,
just because it's zoning
I never
out.
am not thinking about something. I never have like, I'm extremely jealous of people who are just like,
I just look at the ocean
what are you
and
thinking
just
about?
vibe.
Nothing.
It's like, what?
What the fuck? No. Zen. Just like that to me is like the goal is to like not actually have a thought. Mine's
Right.
just like
It's into the next, into the next, into the next.
it's yeah. It's annoying.
Right.
So it creates anxiety for me. And so
Yeah.
it was
Hey,
literally
man,
like
just chill out.
I try to all the time. I definitely try to.
Why are you stressed? Chill.
Anyway, I need something to occupy my brain.
Yeah.
If I'm focusing on something, I'm not thinking.
I hear what you're saying.
So I fall asleep. Dude, if I have my headphone in, I'll fall asleep in 5 minutes less.
But if you don't, it's firing.
I'm up for 2 hours.
Got it. Well, I mean, it sounds like you need it then.
I used to fall before the audiobook. She can't fall asleep if the light from my computer's on. I would put on anime and I'd be out in like less than 2 minutes.
Right.
Like before the credits even finished, I would just like, it'd be like, oh, I have to read these subtitles. Be like,
Right.
only way I could go to sleep.
I was like that recently, and then that's when I felt like I think I want to try and see if I can't do this. And it was like a little bit of a adjustment, but then like kind of I don't know. I mean, it's all experimental, but what I did notice was not going into like, oh, just going into bed, turning the lights off and laying there. It was like having the lights dim, sitting up, maybe reading, talking, like it's like shutting the engine off and letting the engine cool down.
Do you think
and
about-
then sleeping, not just like jumping into bed and turning the lights off and then sitting there in the dark. That wouldn't work.
Do you think about like how you trained Ember to go to sleep? Because kids get like a whole bedtime routine.
Right, they have a routine. They're like putting
very
their stuff
similar
on.
to what sounds like what you're saying.
There's a routine. It's kind of like we're slowly getting in bed. We're talking for a little bit. The lights are very dim, you know, like it's very dark. I put on some music. I have this playlist that's like sleepy time classical piano vibes.
I love that.
So it's just kind of calming and vibey. There's no singing in it because I know if there's singing, I'll start thinking about it. So it's like and then it's like 40 minutes of this, and then all of a sudden I start to feel it, everything shutting down. I don't know. It's been really helpful.
How does Ember sleep? Does Ember need something audible? Like, would Ember fall asleep listening to a story?
No, not at all. But Ember falls asleep to white noise.
So both Frank and Ruth have to have a bedtime story playing.
Oh no,
We do books.
Right.
We read probably like 6 books
that's a lot.
before bed.
That's a lot of bugs.
They would read endlessly.
if you didn't just say, okay, it's time.
And they're engaged, dude.
Right, they love it.
We're listening to the books. I mean, we're looking at the books. There's a visual thing. We put them both down and we put on, there's like on Spotify, there's all these kids' stories things. So you have like Ruth gets
cool.
princess stories. So it's like, here's a,
Oh, is it audiobook?
yeah. So like, here's Cinderella. And it's a woman who's like reciting Cinderella for bedtime.
So you're sitting
it's
there like
very
holding
slow.
it. Okay.
No, we just put it on and just put the screen down.
Oh, right. And then she just
and
listens.
Just put her in bed and she just falls. Dude, she's asleep in like 15 minutes.
Oh, God.
Frank is the same way. They're out.
They love the books.
Auditory, dude. They're exactly like, it's interesting when you, that's why I was asking is like,
Right.
Ember's got like your guys' brain.
Right.
Mine, I would never calm down.
Yeah, it was interesting because Jess, I'm less like you. Jess is more like you, where she was like almost nervous about it. She's like, I'll be honest with you, like, I'm actually kind of scared right now that like I'm not going to have my stimulation to fall asleep to. And I was like, my thought was, you're right.
Isn't that funny? My stimulation to fall asleep to.
But my thought was, maybe it's just because you've become addicted to the stimuli as a coping mechanism, right? It's like,
yeah, because my thoughts are scary.
right. But I think the more that you like stimulate your brain in order to not think, is that you're not training your brain to calm down. It's like you're using a drug to like forget your problems, but then the second the drug rubs off, you're already freaking out.
These are verbatim.
I'm Becca right now, aren't I?
You're literally Becca right now. Exactly to a
so
T.
funny.
Exactly to a T. I'm and right now
were
the thoughts in
triggered.
my head. Well, I was triggered. The thoughts in my head were like, okay, like, yeah, you can cut out your stimulations. I'm going to like keep smoking pot, watching
Right.
cartoons, watching TV,
Right.
listening to my audiobooks, taking medication.
Right.
I'm like, that
Right,
works for
right.
me, which
You know
feels
what?
great, by the way.
Well, honestly, here's the thing. I think there's something to that too, where I started to feel, I started to not like how I felt. And if you're not feeling that way, that means you're probably doing something right. I was doing something wrong for me.
Look,
I can't apply me to you.
It's not for everyone, but I did make the decision to start, taking anti-anxiety.
Great.
Dude, I fucking
It's been amazing.
love it. Yeah, secretly it was like the idea was to take it temporarily, but I'm sort of like,
Dude.
this is sick. I mean, the idea is just to like, I'm, trying to train to not need it.
Yes.
But like where I was at was like, dude, I cannot start. I can't even start.
I'm not even talking about medication. I'm more talking about like lifestyle
no.
stuff. But I'm also saying that's for me, and I can't apply it to you because you have your own journey
I have
there.
I have a buddy who is going through the same shit, and we were talking. We were like a college reunion type thing.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about it. Me and him, we were going through so much of the same, experiencing the same shit, and we kind of were like, dude, we've both been talking to therapists about like being terrified to start a medication because our
Right.
personalities are
Sure.
like, I'm fucking addictive. Like I
Right.
get scared to start shit because I'm like, no. Like vapes, I'll vape when I'm with you. I will never buy one.
Right, because you know yourself.
I know myself.
It'll be over.
It's yeah. So we were both like, dude, I don't want to start this shit because if it's good, if it makes me feel better,
right.
I'm
It's scary.
scared that it's gonna be this thing. We both started it and we're both like, dude, I have no idea what we were suffering for.
Right.
Like literally both of us were like, it's been transformative over
Wow,
like the
good
last
for
few
you,
weeks. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. That must feel like such a relief.
Well, it's nice because it's actually like, yeah, I mean, it's very relieving, but it's also like given me so much patience and like, dude, like
You're not on edge.
just open to doing different things
Right.
without like freaking out about it.
It's huge.
Dude, like look how many workshops I've been attending.
I don't know.
Becca. Well, we've done.
I know
I've
you did
done a
that
couple,
one,
yeah.
but you've
and
done a
now
couple
we're
more
gonna
now?
do another one for Halloween.
And usually you would be like,
Fuck
I'm
no,
not
dude.
doing
The thought
this.
of going into that is just like,
right.
it's like, dude, I've lived life. I'm an old man at this point. I don't need to be around these hippie
workshops.
folk.
Yeah, right.
Do you know where I went to school? Do you know where I lived?
I
don't need to do that
lived
shit.
workshops.
Do you know how many lives I've led? How many lives I've lived?
You know how many? You know what
I'm
I've
fucking
done?
seasoned, dude. Do you know what my past life regression experience was like?
I've seen it all.
I'm an old soul.
Oh God, that's triggering to hear.
Okay. And so it's fine if I sit here and watch TV.
Speaking of TV, I have this question. We watched this show a couple weeks ago called The Watcher.
I haven't started it yet. I've seen it's number one right now on Netflix.
We binged it. I think we were like,
Fucking good.
it's really good.
I said I wanted to watch it, but the crowd, the audience reviews on Rotten Tomatoes
Yeah.
were subpar for someone in my house's taste.
Well, Okay, well, got it. Here's all I'll say. Now I say it was the perfect storm for us because we had no idea what it was. We stumbled upon it.
I don't know
on
what it
Netflix. No, but there was no hype. We were literally just on Netflix and we're like, oh, new release, The Watcher. Let's watch it. That's the best way to watch anything, right? Because it's like now that you've heard something's been great for 3 weeks, you're kind of like, it better be good, right? It's really hard. But we were like completely surprised, and we're like, dude, this is like, what is this? We've never even heard of this. This is amazing. Anyway, long story short, you can guess what the basic concept is, basically. But like, it's based on a true story. I'm not going to blow anything, but like, you can see it in the trailer. Family moves to a dream house. They start getting these letters from this anonymous person that's like terrifying and haunting and like threatening and all these things. And then things unfold, whatever. My question to you is, what would you do in that scenario?
If I got a fucking letter from someone?
If you spend all your money on this house, it's the dream house. The family's ecstatic. It's immaculate. Everything you've always wanted. And then you start getting letters, anonymous letters being like, welcome to hell, basically.
Sell it.
Okay, so you wouldn't like. Now I'm not saying let's say nothing is happening, but you're getting these letters.
I'd be like, what the fuck? I'd be like, it's probably for the old people who used to live here and just shred it.
Right. No. The letters are like, welcome new whatever.
So that'd be weird.
Right.
I don't know what I would.
Could you hang?
I'd probably start questioning all my neighbors.
Okay.
I'd probably start by like questioning all, like realistically,
Right.
if that started happening, like if I walk myself through this of like, okay, I'm reading it. It's addressed to me. It's personalized. So I'm not going to like throw it away. I'm going to be like, what the fuck is this? I'm going to sit there and talk to Beck and be like, okay, well, like what the fuck do we do? What is about this? You know, like I would probably like start by having a conversation with the neighbors and be like, yeah, like we got this really fucking crazy letter. Is there anyone on the street that's like,
has a problem?
Like, what should I know? Like, why am I receiving something like this?
Right.
And, you know, I'd probably then set up like a home security system. I mean, a really nice house, I'm probably going to have a camera system anyway, right?
Right.
So like I'd have a camera system and be like, okay, who the fuck is leaving me the letters?
Right.
Start there.
Right.
And then, yeah, I mean, like, fuck, dude. If I wasn't getting anywhere with that, where like there's a person.
Well, no, I mean it's in the mail. So like the
it's in the mail, so it's not like someone's delivering it to my. Yeah,
it's like in the mail. I think, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably.
And they're saying specific stuff.
I'd probably call the police.
I see that your daughter's going to school this year at blah 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 blah.
I would probably call the police if someone said something about like my kids. Right. I'd be like, Becca.
What if the police got? Well, there's nothing we could do. I mean, it's anonymous.
We'd probably go live with one of our parents until we sold the house.
So you'd sell it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd move the fuck out.
Now, what if nothing ever happened, but it was just letters every week that were like descriptive and terrifying, but nothing ever happened?
I don't think I could
live with it. Just knowing that, like,
knowing me and Becca, if someone was saying weird shit like about we'd move for sure.
Isn't it weird how like
she's had like a stalker situation? It's like, we're not gonna fuck around with that.
Isn't it weird to think that like just some scary notes can ruin your whole life? Like, literally, if I just said, oh, they're just going to get a letter every week and it's just scary shit like that. It's just, the torment would be so great. Like, I'm the same way. The house is gone. We're done. 2 weeks in. If I get my second letter, I'm like, we're done.
If I
we're
look
gone.
like,
I mean, like, this
there's
is
a weird sensitivity to it because like Becca is like, I hate the term public figure.
No, but I mean,
but it's
definitely.
like, that's fucking weird. Like you have weird obsessive.
Right.
There's documentaries about this of just like people obsessing over people for absolutely no reason. It's
so interesting that a simple story like that can be so terrifying. Like family moves into house, they get scary notes. Why? Like on paper, it's kind of like, okay, I don't know if that'll be a good show. But then when you like experience it or like you're watching it and you're like, oh, this would be worst case scenario.
Haunted house, though, you don't seem to have a problem with.
That's because it's so like. First of all, it's
Evan's house is fucking haunted.
Moments.
We need to get a ghost person. We do need to get a ghost before the show ends.
We need to get a ghost person in here, but that's also very different. Like moments of like, what was that? What was that? Is different than like a note you're reading. That's a physical presence that is terrifying. It's just interesting how like scary that is. I don't know. Freaks me out.
What'd you guys get? Like, didn't you move in here and get like a fucking doll delivered to your house?
And a picture of the house from like 1940 by itself in a weird old like.
Dude, and like Ember talked about like seeing vortexes like in her room, and there's all the noises in your attic. Weren't we?
Yeah, there's been some things.
What kind of haunting would make you move out? Records flying off the shelves?
I'd have to like see something or have some like real impactful stuff.
If I saw a single book involuntarily fall off my shelf, I'm fucking out. I would be like, dude, I would full blown like plead my case to Becca. I'd be like, if I saw a book just slide out of my bookcase and fall on the ground,
if you watched it go,
oh my God. We're done.
The house is on the market.
We're fucking done. If I saw a picture on a wall, like none of the other pictures are moving and one of them just flipped off, I'd be like, out.
What about if you saw a figure go by the window?
A figure? I don't know.
Less scary.
Wow. For me, phantom passing through, physical interaction with my plane. We're not dealing with that. No. But if I just see like some lights or some blurry shit, fine. Physically, because
what happens if you see a figure like a person walk by? And
if it just walks through some shit,
less scary.
Like it walks through and it doesn't affect anything. It's like, dude, like whatever.
Oh my gosh, I'll take a picture falling down any day of the week over like seeing someone's face.
But it can't do anything to you. It can't do anything. If it just passes through stuff and it can't do anything, imagine if you just felt something grab you.
Who do you think's pulling that book off?
Hell no, dude. Yeah, but they all have different powers.
Yeah.
They're all on different levels, dude.
Sound is also scary too. Like if you heard running across.
No.
Like you heard someone running.
Anything that could potentially disturb my sleep.
Yeah.
We're not dealing with that.
Yeah.
No way.
Or you hear someone screaming or yelling.
Our house is very old. I think I've lived in lots of old houses. There has to be some stuff. I think that there's some stuff. There's some shit going movement. On. The kids' room freaks me out. I'll say that. I don't like spending time in their room about at night. I brought it up to Becca. I think it's fine that the kids are. I don't want to be in there.
Yeah, I don't want to be there. You know, here's a crazy quick story before we move on and get into the batch. My parents had these close friends who were not at all
into
this at all. Like very typical, like accountant dad, soccer kids. You know, just like the most standard American nuclear family at all. No. Ghosts are everywhere. None of that shit. They had to sell their house because a couple times a week they would just be downstairs eating, and all of a sudden the lights would turn on upstairs and they would hear someone in the bathroom vomiting violently, just like and just like vomiting and like moaning and like all this shit, and they'd go up there and all of a sudden the lights would turn off and like the door would shut shit like that. And he was telling my dad, like, dude, I'm telling you right now, like, I don't even believe in extraterrestrial nothing. And he's like, dude, people were vomiting upstairs, like it literally retching and vomiting, and it like I wouldn't just sell that house.
That's like I would commit insurance fraud, and I would do something where like
burn it down.
I would like plot some way where like I would like go out of town for the weekend and like leave some fireworks by my water heater or something.
Just because you're like, no, this needs to disappear,
and it just needs to like explode, like somehow have like the oven just blow the house up,
right?
However, it can get like covered up and I get like recoup the insurance money for the whole situation. Fine. But like, that's not a house. That kind of shit is like not something I'd want to necessarily sell.
Right.
I'd want to like destroy it.
Right. We were kind of talking about this, a couple weeks ago, the whole like, why do demons, they kind of warm up the scare. Why is that demon? Why is that guy just retching? Why is he vomiting? Why is it? Why is he doing that?
Would you want to sell it, or would you want to have an exorcism for your house? Would you try to purify your house?
It depends.
I think that would be interesting.
It depends on how nice the house is and how much I want to stay there.
Well,
if it's my dream house, then I'm bringing the Exorcist in there. But I'm not gonna.
So
But I'm
this
not
could
staying
be-
there. I'm not
this could
staying
be
there.
A whole thing. We should actually,
'Cause
like,
this is the
over the
classic-
next few weeks, let's actually try to get a paranormal person in here to do stuff on your house, and me and you will go through it with
Right.
them. And then if they say that there is indeed like a shitload of paranormal activity, let's get a fucking like seance person. Like, let's try to contact the spirits of your
Here's
house.
my problem with that.
Okay.
I've seen many horror movies. It
So
always
you're-
starts with the exorcist coming in, the family's there too, and then shit goes bad. I'm down to be gone while a team goes in. I'm all about having the team go in and then call me when it's done, like a rat infestation.
You know what you sound
or
like?
whatever.
You know what you
but
sound
like,
like?
call me when it's over. I don't want to be there because that's when the demon comes out of that lady and comes into Jess or comes into me or what, and then I start
You know
going
what
crazy.
You sound like?
What? I am. He called me a wussy, and I absolutely am when it comes to this stuff. I have no. Listen, you can't have pride when it comes to demons and haunting. What are you gonna like beat them up? This isn't like
The
tough.
power
Yeah,
of
this is not
Christ.
tough stuff when you're
They're
dealing with the
saying
spiritual
power-
realm.
Unless you believe in
Yeah,
that shit,
I don't
it
believe
doesn't
in
have
it.
any power. But speaking of
I don't
my
believe in
Audible
it.
books, one of them I'm listening to, because I'm all over the place, is a fantasy series, a detective fantasy series.
Wow.
It's very fun. But he explains that that belief has intrinsic power when people really believe.
Oh, it's like quantum physics.
So, like, if I were to say the power of Christ compels you to a haunting spirit,
By the power vested in me, you are
it
now
wouldn't
man and
have
wife.
shit. But like, because I'm not,
But if you were really religious, maybe
you can't be, no bandwagon fans
No. Mm-mm.
get the
You
power
gotta
of
be a
belief. You gotta be a
real-
diehard. When you're down on your luck, you gotta believe in Jesus to have to have the power of the Lord on your side when the devil shows up. Otherwise, you just, and you know what? Good for them. But, I'll do some extra, I'll circumvent that somehow.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna hire the real believers.
I'll draw a circle with a pentagram in it and conjure some fucking
No,
spell casting.
Nope. Not doing that. Not
I
even,
will.
Not even
the
coming
way that I will get
close to
rid
that.
of the demon bothering me is summoning a more powerful demon to deal with that one.
But then he comes into the house and goes, "This is a pretty nice place to live.
Well-
I think I'm gonna make your life a living hell."
Look, what I'm trying to do is get rid of the demon in front of me. Maybe maybe that guy. I'll have a better time with that guy than or her. She could be a girl demon, and they could come in and. The demon could come in and exorcise the other demon. Maybe me and this new demon will make a better pact
Or they join forces,
against me.
and then you're really done because now you
Bad
have
idea.
triple power, double power.
Bad idea, because then I'll summon an even more powerful third
Yeah,
demon.
no, but then they'll be like, "Dude, get up here! It's beautiful."
Three's a crowd.
4.
They're gonna say
3 versus
this
1, you're
town
done.
ain't big enough for the three of us, and the demons will square off.
That's smart. Keep summoning so many demons to where they're like, it's so crowded in here. Then they revolt on each other, blow each other all out.
That's one
It'll
theory.
be a turbulent process. But
Am I
once you
making
get to the end,
Are you anxious by my talk of
a little
demon
bit.
summoning?
I don't like it. I don't like anything to do with it. No Ouija boards, no nothing, dude. That shit terrifies me. I want nothing to do with it. Keep it.
I'm a demon.
I'm a demon. Can you grab me one too? Yeah. We got some plug somethings.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We have we have a couple packages.
Okay, so let's race
Yeah.
through the Bachelor.
All right, let's get into this.
Okay, broads, one more quick pause from the bros. So this might sound a little bit cheesy, but have you ever breathed in just really good, clean, fresh air? It might be one of the greatest feelings on the planet, and sometimes you don't even realize how smoggy or smoky or polluted the air you breathe in on a day-to-day basis really is until you breathe in that fresh air. And if you live in a big city or have kids or pets, oh my goodness, don't even get me started. Basically, the air you breathe inside your home is far from fresh, which is why it really is in the best interest of your health and your family's health to check out Air Doctor.
Air Doctor isn't just any old air purifier. It is the best air purifier on the market. It is made using an ultra HEPA filter. It's been independently tested to remove 99.99% of all bacteria and viruses. And when the air in most people's homes is proven to be 2 to 5 times more polluted than the air outside, wait, okay, I gotta say that again. The air in most people's homes has been proven to be 2 to 5 times more polluted than the air outside. That's disgusting. You need a powerful air purifier.
Okay, so truth is, I've used other air purifiers in the past, and my issue was always the noise. But Air Doctor is honestly almost undetectable. It's amazing. And that's because Air Doctor uses a professional whisper jet fan that is so quiet. We sleep with ours on at the highest setting at night, and I literally do not even notice it at all. But I do wake up without that congestion or stuffiness, even at peak allergy season, which is an honest-to-God miracle.
Air Doctor comes with a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't love it, just send it back for a refund minus shipping. Head to airdoctorpro.com, use promo code CHATTY. Depending on the model, you'll receive up to 35% off. That's up to 35% off, but only if you go to airdoctorpro.com, airdoctorpro.com, and use promo code CHATTY.
So, starts off with Lace and Rodney.
I feel bad for Lace.
I know, that was brutal. That was brutal. Dude, you know when he came back from the date, everyone had the eek face, like he was like, like
yeah,
that. Oh,
because
God.
they were all fucking, had what's his face talking shit about Lace to everybody.
Oh, Wells?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disappointing. First off, I was very stand-up performance by Lacifer for not giving credit to Wells's whole if I know anything,
We're
it's
on for your life.
You don't. She's reformed.
Yeah.
She's in more, she's learned her lessons from being on TV, and she has done she handled herself extremely well. And, good on you, Lace.
That was real heartbreak though. Like when Rodney broke up with her, it was she was quivering, sobbing. Real deal heartbreak. Like she was really messed up, man. Like that was almost like she was almost in love with the guy, it seems like, because she was like it was like the snot was you know what I mean? When the snot comes and the eyes are completely puffy, that's why when you feeling it, Yeah. So then
there's been a few of those on this season.
Jill was another one, just real deal crying.
This is a good season.
Really good. I've been anxious.
Dude, even the early episodes. What was her name? Haley, dude. She was
some heavy heartbreak.
Yeah.
One thing I was noticing, and I wanted to bring this up. You know how whenever there's a contentious, so there's a throuple, right? There's these two people are dating, it's like there's 3 people involved with each other, and 2 of them are on the couch talking, and there's the third person that is kind of waiting to wonder what happens with that conversation.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like if Shanae and James are talking, then what's his name? Then Logan was sitting watching, or if it was the opposite, or whatever the scenario is, where you're anxious about whatever they're talking about. You notice the third person is always watching and going, did they hug? Did they kiss? Would you watch or would you walk away?
I'd fucking walk away.
I'm in the same way. I was thinking to myself, I'm kind of ignorance is bliss a little bit. I don't care what happens. All that matters is what happens after. So when they come back and they go, hey, by the way, I want to talk to you. I'm not into you anymore. Oh, or I've chosen to be with you. But to sit there and go, oh, wait, he smiled. Wait, she hugged him. Oh, wait, they're laughing. That, I want no part of that. I would go opposite side of the beach, get another drink, jump in the water. I would do anything else other than watch them talk. But every single one of them is just eyeballing it, talking with their friend. What do you think that meant? I don't know. I'm that's so not me. I don't want to see it.
No.
So you'd be the same way. You wouldn't sit there and kind of watch it.
Anywhere around it.
I would try to talk to someone else about something else. Let's play cornhole. Let's not. I don't even want to know what's happening.
Let's get pissed drunk.
Right. We're done with this.
Yeah. I'd be this night's done. I need, however many whatevers to go.
Let's do a competition. Let's just get our mind off
Let's have a diving contest.
Anything.
Yeah.
push-ups. I don't really care what it is. I'm not
literally
watching that.
anything other than that.
Anything. But they'll just sit there. Remember Aaron and James were like, wait, why is he talking? Why is she smiling?
Right?
And I'm like, dude, that is torturous.
Okay, here's what I want to know. Are you allowed to smoke cigarettes in BIP?
Well, no, definitely not.
Because I'd be like, how is no one just like throwing darts around?
Well,
I'd be like, dude, I would be smoking cigarettes left and right.
It's interesting.
Especially if we were in Mexico.
It's interesting you say that because I'm a big Love Island fan. Mm-hmm. And
they smoke cigarettes on Left Island, right?
Early days. So like, I don't know, there's 10, 12 seasons now, right? The first couple, it was like 2008 British TV. These people were smoking 2 packs a day. Like It was every scene was just cigarette. Then all of a sudden, like season 3, no more cigarettes. So I think there's like a TV thing too.
Maybe
where
they're like no more in the ITMs or whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, but dude, also it's better. People relax.
No, but I also think it's like a TV, probably a lot of the commercials that are on the show, like they don't want cigarettes, they don't want stuff that's bad for you. But anyway, yeah, no, it's such a stressful thing. Anyway, it was like a random moment I saw that and I was like, oh my God, that's horrific. Like I want nothing to do with seeing that. It's almost like, oh, I broke up with this person and I know that she's on a date with her new boyfriend at this restaurant. I'm going to go to the restaurant and just sit in the corner and watch him. It's like, no, I need to be gone from this concept. Anyway, then we got Logan, Sarah, Kate, that whole scenario. Fascinating.
Well, it's fascinating to just see the blender that Kate is. Because she is going to eat people up and spit them out, dude.
I mean, she is a black belt.
Yeah.
She's a black belt.
She is showing no mercy at all. She is, I find it very entertaining because she's a mastermind. I will just say she is fake as all.
So you feel like there's a fakeness going on there?
1000%,
okay.
Dude. I'm like, I love it, but there's nothing real about it. 1000. I love watching it. But yeah, it's all very calculated, very chess move. I mean, Shanae's not much different. Like in this, what I think is interesting in the love triangle of like that whole situation is in is like Shanae also knows I don't think Shanae's a match for Kate.
Oh.
I think when it comes to Kate and Shanae arguing, there's a reason Shanae walked away. Whereas like, I know this is detracting a little bit. You look at the way that Shanae has Genevieve wrapped around her finger. Do you notice this?
Of course. No, that's a whole other thing. But
Shanae doesn't even wipe her own tears, bro.
right. I have a theory on that.
Genevieve wipes her tears.
I have a theory on that though. I don't think that Genevieve is wrapped around Shanae's finger. I think Genevieve doesn't want to have an enemy. And the difference is
she would rather be friends.
Exactly. And so I think Genevieve would just rather be friends, and it's stressful to have an enemy like that, where Shanae's built for war. And so war is her state. It's her symbiosis. It's like she exists in war. So like she's not even thinking about that they're friends now. She's just like, oh, all right, you're not pissing me off. We're cool. Or Genevieve's like, thank God that was stressful. That's why she's kind of being overtly super nice to Shanae. Because she's like, that was stressful having an enemy. Where Shanae's like, oh, I was born in the dark. You know what I mean? Like I'm built for this shit. So I don't even think about that. You know what I mean? And so it's like, because even when Genevieve saw Brittany and Tyler making out, she's like, I'm not telling her. Because it was like, I don't want to disturb our friendship that we have right now because everything's cool.
She's also like, I don't want to set that off.
I don't want to set it off.
I don't want to set that off.
The Shenado.
Okay,
back to the Logan, Sarah Kate thing. Because I was kind of, the Sarah and Logan thing was kind of cute at first. I was like, oh, it was a cute vibe. They kind of like, they made out. They had like he was really nervous because he didn't want to mess with Shanae. Dude. But they had a real kind of cute vibe going on.
Logan, though, here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
While things are good with Logan, I like soften up and I'm like, oh, this is really sweet. The moment Logan ends his situation with whoever he's with, it's like the most painful, awful, like most insensitive and like fucked up thing to watch.
Yeah, he goes from really sensitive to like kind of like, oh, by the way, it was nice meeting you. And you're like, wait, what?
Dude,
Right.
like the way he's just the coldness with which he dealt with Haley
right.
was like, oh my God, dude.
Right,
like
right.
that was, he wouldn't even look at her. And he like pretended like there was nothing going on between them. And then when he's, you know, God, I don't know why I can't think of her name, but she's like, I came here for you. I'm super into this, like with you. And then he's like, okay, like I guess I'll make out with you in the ocean. And
Sarah.
and then he's just like, yeah, no.
Right.
The moment Kate showed interest. And then what he does to Shanae, instead of being like, hey, like I'm here, like I'm going to explore with other people, before he even gets to that point, he guilt trips her. And he's
Right.
like, well, the reason I did what I did is because you're the
Right.
way that you are.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying like, here's what I'm going to do. Like, I
Or
hope
instead
you
of just
can
saying,
understand.
I really like Kate, and I just found a connection with her that makes a little more sense for me, and it's like simple. He
got
obviously went on the defensive.
self-conscious.
Yeah.
He got self-conscious, went onto the defensive before Shanae even did anything to make him feel like he needed to do that.
Right.
And he just started telling her that the justifications for his behavior were all the things that Shanae did wrong.
Right. Yeah, it was not a good look for sure. I am like, anytime you are that way, you're not confident in your decision, which leads me to this. So I think, yes, the Logan thing, the Sarah thing, the Shanae thing, but I personally believe that the center point is Kate. Like, dude, think about this. She walks onto the beach. With one look, Jacob ditches Jill. By the way, she's been there for like 3 days. And she immediately walks in and goes, hey, Jacob, how's it going? And he goes, who, Jill who? Right? Immediately just like sitting in her lap, basically doing, I'll do whatever you want.
Well, she straddled him.
But before that, he was literally following her around like a little puppy dog.
He
Jill,
saw
he's
her
like,
and
I've
was
never
like,
even
"Oh
met
my
Jill. I know who you're
God."
talking about. Obsessed with Kate. Kate throws a couple flashy smiles his way. Boom. He is on a leash. Right? Fast forward like 24 hours. And we obviously they didn't show it, but like they didn't show the build up to Logan. They were just all of a sudden Logan's in love with Kate. And Kate's like, I really like you too. Boom. Got Logan. Logan went from talking to Sarah, I'm really nervous, but I really have a connection with Shanae and I really think that she would know, but I really appreciate you having time with me. To 24 hours later being like, I don't care what it takes. I'm with Kate. I'll bring the storm, bring it all. We're going down with the ship. It's Kate or nothing. Mm-hmm. And Kate did this in a matter of hours. I'm like, dude, I don't care. We need to study her for this show because this is
what I'm saying.
Believable.
We need to pay attention. This is why I said Shanae walked away from her argument with Kate. She can't hang.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but there must be something in person with Kate that is so intoxicating that both of the guys just ditch their partners immediately who they've been building time with.
You know who Batman's greatest nemesis was?
Who?
Superman.
There you go. It's incredible to me. We have Logan now. Now maybe they have an amazing connection, but there definitely is this sense of like
Kate would be like an excellent assassin.
Oh, yeah, where she can lure you in.
She would come in and she'd like jump your bones and she'd like rub your upper thigh and then just like stab you in the throat.
She would be amazing at like sales because it's like she's clearly like, if I was a sales head rep, I'd be like, what does she do for we need to get her on, because clearly she's got the gift. Now maybe her and Logan do have a serious connection that lasts. Either way, talk about someone who just gets what she wants without even question. She goes, oh, I like those two guys.
What
got
does
them
Kate
both
do?
without even trying.
What does she do?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Is she one of those girls?
You know what? Real estate. I want to say real estate.
Probably
which is
really good.
She's probably amazing.
She's probably in sales.
She has to be. There's no way.
Okay, now talking about someone though, let's not get fully off of this though. Jacob, Jill, breakup. Because we were just talking about Jacob.
Dude, remember that when he walked down and kissed her in the morning while she was sitting next to Logan, telling Logan how into him she is? It's like
that was insane.
Brutal.
But you know what though? The way he handled Jill, in comparison to the way Logan handled anybody.
Oh wait, are you talking about Jill or Kate?
I'm talking about Jacob
And Jill.
telling
Oh,
Jill
got it. That
that
was hard. That was
he
rough.
had his situation with Kate. Even him listening to Kate break it off to him, he's like, fuck. But he was like, all right, whatever. Do your thing. He didn't like turn it into anything. He was so chill.
He just brought it straight up.
And then when he was dealing with Jill, he's like, look, like,
This is what I did.
I mean, I like that he was like, fuck, like, okay, where are you coming from first off? And when she said, like, I just sat there and like waited and passed the time, he was like, oh my God.
Right.
And he's like, okay, yeah, like I had this thing, it didn't pan out. And I love that instead of being like, I want to be with you and take advantage of that, he was like, it showed me like we can't be together.
That's what I was most glad about.
I was like, yeah, dude. It was super stand up.
I was glad that he didn't kind of go, if you're willing to give it another try, you know, because they wanted to keep the position.
He didn't filter anything either.
Yo, you're not my person. And it was like, that's good. You cut her off clean. Don't string her along anymore. She's because poor Jill has gone through hell.
But Jacob was never stringing Jill along.
No, but I will say, you know, my only thing was like when she left, they were tied at the hip. They had like a lot of intimate moments, and then he dropped her like a second.
Sure,
she was gone.
But she made a choice, and you hear it in the episode where she's like, "I know who Jacob is. If I went down there and said, 'Leave the beach with me,' you think he's gonna do it?" She said that out loud to everybody,
right,
and then made her decision to not talk or establish a connection with anybody else there,
right,
who would have,
right,
and put all of her eggs in the basket she knew had holes in it.
I'm more just saying I feel bad for Jill. Like she's gone through it.
I definitely feel
she's
like
just been wanting to find love, and she's just been beat up.
Yeah,
you know?
Emotionally she's been beat up.
And you can see when she left, she was so tired. She's like, I don't have any. I can't go through this again.
I hold to the fact he didn't lead her on.
Got it.
You know?
Oh, I mean.
And so I also thought it was funny when she was leaving, the things she said, but I also thought that was a very low blow.
That was funny though.
It was hilarious.
I was dying.
It was hilarious, but it was a serious low blow.
It was a low blow, but I do think it's okay every once in a while if you get your heart broken to like throw a couple blows to yourself. She didn't say it to him. She just kind of said it like, you know, in a crying way. It wasn't like she's like, "Fuck you, you're just," you know. She just kind of said it, you know, in a place of sorrow. But either way, they kind of, you know, like I said, I'm glad that Jacob just said like, "Here's what I did." He didn't try to sugarcoat. He said, "Here's what I did," and I'm realized we're not supposed to be together. And it's like, good. You didn't try to like just stay on the show or whatever, you know. So that was good. I agree with that. Let's see. Talk with Sarah thing. Oh, the Jacob breathing thing is funny. How he like doing all the breath work.
Uh-huh.
That shit works, by the way.
I know.
I've done some breath work here and there. It really does calm me down. You know who Wim Hof is? He's that guy that does all the hiking.
We did a Wim Hof workshop at the gym, actually.
Oh, sick. Okay, yeah. So all the Wim Hof stuff's amazing. I'll do this stuff every once in a while. Do you ever try this when you're having anxiety before you sleep? Is like the 10 breaths and then like hold the last one and do all those. It really does. Helps me at least. It might take the edge off.
It doesn't help.
Got it. Cool. Okay. So then we got Victoria and Alex. That date. One of the new guys. This guy is your worst nightmare. Tall.
Which is
gorgeous. And apparently rich.
Apparently very rich.
So it's like, dude.
No, Alex
you see that guy walks in with your girl, you're like,
when
Johnny
Johnny
it was
like,
really nice meeting you. Good luck on everything. We'll see you around.
When Johnny was like, what boxes does he check?
Yeah.
I was like, well, meet him.
Pretty much every one of them.
Meet him, dude. He'll check all your boxes too.
Yeah, and he's like 34 or something, so it's like a little older too compared to all the other guys. Like
he's more mature. He's older. He has dashing. Perfect.
He just looks
shadow.
like if you draw a handsome man, like that's what you draw.
The only thing is he looks a little neurotic. He does look a little bit neurotic.
I mean, we all have our demons.
We
you know?
do have. You can't have everything, but yeah, he has like a perfect smile.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. His
like,
voice is kind of deep.
Literally, it's deep.
You know what's so funny? Remember when he like went by and scratched her head?
That was interesting. That she was like, that was
a moment because it was obviously kind of intimate to her. If you're scratching someone's head, it's a little intimate. That's how Jess. That's her love language. There's there's physical touch and closeness. Hers is head scratching. So when she saw that, she literally was like, oh my God, I totally understand that. Because her, like, if I just walk over to her right now and just scratch her head, it's literally just like,
Oh, Johnny's done for.
like, that was just
There's
so
no-
funny. Like, Jess would like, if she were to leave me for anything, it would just be maybe because of a head scratching. Like, that's how much she loves head scratching. It's a lifestyle for her.
Getting my head scratched too.
She loves head scratches. So they have their date, you know, it's going like, you know,
What
listen,
would you do if you saw me scratching Jess's head?
yeah, I mean, that would be the biggest betrayal ever.
If you walked in and I was just scratching Jess's head?
Yeah, I'd be like, I would prefer you guys are making out. No, I'm kidding. No, but like, Jess, you know, just literally like, no, I'm saying that like, that's not my thing. That's Jess's thing. So it's like,
That's like, what would you
that's
do?
her ultimate
If
betrayal
you
is to
saw
get her
me-
head scratched by another man. Who I feel like would be the ultimate betrayal.
You'd be like,
You don't do that to my wharf. That's her ultimately giving you her heart. It's like letting you scratch her head, I guess.
be like,
She's like, babe, I didn't sleep with him, but
he scratched my head.
it's like, get out. This is over.
Dude, but no, if I was Johnny, I'd be freaked out.
Or actually, I think it'd be the opposite. If I scratched another woman's head, that's the ultimate
That's what
betrayal.
would send her off?
I don't have the head scratch thing.
No, but you would
She
be,
has the
if
head
you
scratch
knew,
thing.
but you know it's her thing. So if you saw
It's
me
kind of
doing
both,
that, you'd be
you know
like,
what I mean?
what the fuck?
You're like, babe, I scratched her head. It's like,
I suppose like if you saw me like massaging like
right.
you know, up on the shoulders and the back of Jess's neck, if it was like, oh, I'm stiff, but as opposed to like if you walked in and I was
Like, you're
like,
getting real close to that head, buddy.
if I was scratching her head, it'd be like a whole different.
It is, but it is kind of intimate. Scratching someone's head is rather intimate, isn't it? It doesn't sound intimate, but it is.
Yeah, I have firmly agreed to of just like, don't even shake your friend's wife's hand.
Don't even look him in
Don't
the
hug her.
eyes.
Just say it's nice to see you. Stand back.
I bid you
Don't-
adieu.
Yeah, just like as little interaction as possible. Make her hate you, and you'll be in good terms with your buddy. If you're like best friend, if you're always like talk to her wife like, oh my God, he's my best friend, and she's constantly just like, no, like fuck him, like whatever. You're like, oh no, we're
But I do like when Jess is really close, because Jess is close with a lot of my friends, and I'm close with some of her friends. So it's symbiotic. But I don't have anybody who looks like Alex, so that's the real test.
See, I don't want any of my friends to like Becca, and I don't want her to be friends with. I don't want them spending any of their available time together. Oh no, I'm kidding. I'd prefer that she like my friends because I have to make her hang out with them. Mm-hmm. It's easier when she likes them.
No, I love like that flow.
It's just funny. It's like I am just thinking about like when you do meet like your partner's friends and the process of meeting them. You're like, I don't want to fucking meet your friends. That's how I am. I'm at least that's how I've been in the past. I'm like, dude, I think
it all depends, right? Because it can be amazing where you're like, well, this friend group's amazing.
Go to your friends. You go to your friends.
Go. But that's only because you didn't like them that much.
No, dude, it's just the like, why do I want to meet your friends? That's where I live. That is the grime that I live in, is the like,
I got my own friends.
I'm a curmudgeon. I have come to realize, and I accept it. But this is the beauty of having a partner like this, of someone who does not allow me to sit and to stew in my curmudgeoniness.
What did you just say? And you're like, actually, I'm getting up right now.
She
cannot
says
wait.
things that make me feel less than, and then I say that I must rise to the occasion. And that's what I need. That's the kind of love and attention that I need. I need someone to kick me, to light a fire under my seat, And Becca does that.
Warm it up.
She does that for me, and I love her for it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good, precious moment there.
It was really precious. Shanae, Tyler, and Brittany. That was interesting.
That was.
But I also felt the whole time, if I'm being honest with you, was like Brittany and him had a connection at the pool. Shanae grabs him.
That was wild.
But that was like, but
producers
Shanae,
then giving Shanae the date.
But Shanae is one of those where it's like, she's just like, I know what I want and I'm going to go for it. And hopefully you catch on at some point and agree with me.
You back up.
You know what I mean? So she just kind of goes, I'm doing this. And she's like, oh, Tyler's making out with Brittany right now. You're with me. We're going to have a great time together. And then he comes back and he keeps making out with Brittany. So like, clearly that didn't work, but I do love how Shanae just goes like, I don't really care how you feel. I just am going to make you feel how I feel by the end of this. Didn't work. But Tyler and Brittany, I mean, they seem mad for each other. They seem really connected.
Do you think Tyler would have gone to the boom boom room with Shanae?
No.
No, you don't think so?
I don't think so. I think he was totally down. He was like trying to experience the whole thing, but I don't think so. I think he was pretty set on Brittany. You could tell he like walked right over to her the next time and was just like, hey, how are you? And they immediately just had like a crazy bond.
What did you think of Brittany and Andrew's conversation?
I thought it was mature. Like, I thought she did the mature thing. She just said, hey, this is how I feel. And I know we had a connection before I left, but this is how I feel.
I thought he was a little avoiding.
I think he was trying to play it cool. I think he was like trying to make it feel like, oh, I don't really care kind of thing.
It was weird though, because it was like, dude, you clearly have a thing for this other person. He like never came out and overtly said that.
You mean with Jasenia?
Yeah.
Because I think there probably was a sense of, let's see what Brittany says.
Because Brittany was like, after like a couple of minutes, she's like, okay, so like for me, this isn't a thing anymore.
Right.
Where I think if she had been like, hey, I want to be with you.
That's what I mean.
I don't know what Andrew would have done. But he very much let her lead that choice. And when she said what she said, he wasn't like, hey, by the way,
right,
I'm with this other person and I'm really happy you said that. He was like, hey, if that's what you want to do, great. And I thought it was weird.
And I agree. So Brittany had made up her mind, maturely came over and said, this is how I feel, blah, blah, blah. I think the vibe I'm getting is that he's like not super sold on Jasenia yet. He likes her. There's a vibe there. But he was also just kind of waiting to see what she said. Well, so Brittany, if Brittany came back and said, like, yo, I like you a lot, he's like, well, let me still kind of feel this out. So I think he's like vibing on Jasenia, but it's not like 100% sold at all.
I mean, Brittany walked back onto the beach on fire.
Right.
Her outfit, the whole thing.
The whole thing. So I think he's a little bit like, okay. And then when he saw that it wasn't working, he was like, I kind of assumed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jasenia was even like, what's going to happen? Because anyone who saw Brittany come on was like,
right, this is the problem.
He's obviously going to be with her.
Right. So that's kind of the vibe I get. I think he's trying to play it cool. You know how some guys get into that zone of like, I don't care. And it's like, we know you care. Just be honest. Just be like, I totally understand.
Yeah,
Thanks for telling me. It meant a lot to connect with you. I wish you the best. But like, yeah, whatever. Nothing, honestly.
But the sad truth is, for guys and girls, if someone pretends like they don't care to you,
obviously means they care. Yeah.
Dude, like that's the most intoxicating shit in the world.
Right. Because you're like, wait, why don't you care?
What is up with that?
So then we got the Johnny Victoria thing. I mean, we kind of rounding the edge with this one, but dude, I mean, listen, I feel bad for everyone involved here a little bit, because I'm like, listen, if I'm Victoria, I'm seeing the tall, handsome Adonis, successful Adonis, who's like a couple years older than her, kind of like she said, checks all the boxes. He's going like, what's all these boxes you're talking about?
Yeah, what are these boxes? What are these boxes?
And that's just a guy who's like trying to go like, what are you talking about? And she's going, well, he wants to get married, he wants to have babies, he's older, he's got his career together, all these things.
She lays it out.
Just like those boxes, you know what I mean? And he's like, why do boxes? He's like, why do boxes even matter? Kind of thing. He's like, and then I just, they kind of going back and forth, and I get it. She's trying to kind of like, I don't want to demoralize you by saying these things, but I'm trying to be honest. He's going, and I understand this for him a little bit. He's kind of younger, and he's going like, why do all these matter? Like, what if we have a connection? Why don't we just have a connection? And she's going like, well, I want things in my life, and you're currently not open to those things. And he's going, I don't really get this guy, And he walks onto the beach. You just saw the kind of like, oh.
What
about that?
Okay. What about when she pulled him aside and he's like, okay, like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about some of these things you're feeling.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, yeah, let's talk about it. Marriage, kids, career goals.
Right.
And he goes,
what are you?
I'm highly motivated.
Right. And you feel bad for the guy, because it's like you're bringing a knife to a gunfight. You know what I mean? Like you're cooking with oil. The other guy's cooking with oil. You know what I mean? It's like What are your career goals? I'm motivated. Yeah, I'm highly motivated.
Bro, I couldn't. I was like, that's done right there. She's
Right.
out. You lost her.
Right. It's tough.
What he pulled was the, you can't fire me, I quit.
It's tough because it's like she's older than him.
Dude, he jumped the moment he realized he didn't stand a chance. He jumped off that boat well before he
just
could
was like,
drown with it. He was like, dude, he got out of that. It's like, dude, what are you? So Johnny would have fought armies for Victoria had she given him the chance.
Yes.
But she was laying it out as clear as day of like,
well, no, she's still giving him the chance. It's just when you see him walk down, you go, oh,
give him credit where credit's
God.
due. She was vibing on him.
Yes.
She was definitely vibing on him.
I still think he's very much in this fight. It's up to Johnny if he's going to rise to the occasion, because I'm getting the sense from her that everything that Alex is amazing. But I'm not getting the sense from her that she has as much fun and as much of a genuine connection as she has with Johnny.
She doesn't.
So it's head and heart right now. She's seeing Alex and going, on paper, perfect. She's seeing Johnny going, on paper, not perfect, but I have fun with him. I'm torn. So it's really up to Johnny to be like, if
Johnny
you go for it, man, you might be able to get this.
He couldn't just say like, dude, career goals. Like, I'm a rich kid. You know, like remember when Johnny did his thing on The Bachelorette?
Right.
His quote was, "This is my life." I just want to remind everyone.
Right.
This is my life.
Right.
While he was out on his boat in West Palm Beach.
And I know that he's not where he's at. He's not where he wants to be, because I even remember there was the hometowns, and the dad was like, I know your career's not where you want it to be, but blah, blah, blah. And don't let that hold you back from finding love, whatever. But all I'm trying to say is this.
He wants to like have these things in place, but I think maybe he's not. But when you say things like, this is my life,
yeah,
in the way that he said it, I'm like, yeah, you're coming for money.
Alex is also like sweet. He's nice. He's not pushing any boundaries, right? He didn't try to make out with her in front of him. He's
so comfortable.
He's super respectful. He's like, I want to respect your boundaries, and I don't want this to be a situation, and I'm not going to be physical with you in front of him right now. Like he's kind of the perfect guy.
She seems to be between points of like, she seems like Johnny's the typical mess around type of person, but she's saying Alex is who's the guys that she typically goes for.
Right.
And there's some sensitivity to that.
She's like, well, it hasn't worked out this far, so maybe I should, But like, I will say, I don't think I've ever seen anyone this, because she's crying too in the ITM, so she cares about Johnny a lot.
She definitely cares about Johnny.
Johnny basically, this is that fire. Johnny has an opportunity to go, will I be crushed by the Adonis in his presence, or will I say, I'm not afraid of you? I'm going to plan a special date for her. I'm going to show her that I can tick some of these boxes too.
Yeah. Well,
boom.
What matters, what Johnny needs to realize is none of it actually matters. His attitude is what matters.
Yeah, if he seems sad and in the corner and makes her feel bad, it's over.
How he makes her feel is what matters. We heard Jill say it the best, even though I think it was a low blow. She got her heart broken by someone who sold their couch for cash.
Right.
They don't care what your career goals are, what your life boxes are.
I think they probably do to some extent, or as anyone would once you start actually dating.
On paper, they do. But in the moment, they don't.
In the moment, maybe less, but once you start dating, definitely.
It's paradise, baby. Joey. I want to call him Joey. He's more of a Joey than a Johnny to me.
Joey.
Joe John has he's got some fight left in him.
He definitely has.
He can play his cards right.
You got this.
Come on, Joe John.
Joe John. We also got, Aaron and Genevieve. Beautiful moment. Came back together. Now, here's the thing. They had a beautiful coming back together, but we see shit blowing up coming up. We see her packing her bags and running off.
Dude, we see Aaron saying,
You're gaslighting me.
You're gaslighting me. And he says disrespectful.
He says disrespectful. And he also said this multiple times during this episode, where he was like, and if Shanae disrespects him, it was like there was multiple disrespect.
Dude, there was a lot of disrespect.
Side note, ending comment. Aaron was talking a lot of shit on Shanae in those ITMs. He better be careful, because his girl's best friend is Shanae. So he's got to learn how to get along or else that's going to be a
Well,
tough
you were the one
situation.
just saying that they may not actually be best friends, just not wanting to be enemies.
Either way, they're hanging out and they're
That's
homies.
true.
But he can't
That's
be
true.
he can't be on here talking
But
shit because
he's
they're
got to be
friends.
thinking about his boy James and be like, bro, Shanae was taking my boy James through the ringer.
But he'll have to figure that out quick. That's all I'm trying to get at.
He's picking James. I'll tell you right now, he's picking James over everybody else. Last year, he walked off Paradise to be
As
with
he
James.
should. James.
James.
Poor James. Anyway, it's gonna be sick.
You know I think they have a podcast together, don't they?
Do they really? If they do, we need to collab.
I saw them
I don't know how we're
podcasting.
not collabing.
How do we not?
We need to get them on. We'll reach out.
Yeah, we should.
Let's do a quick unboxing. Or
Yes.
Plug something.
Okay.
Whoa,
Hi, bros.
that's
My
it.
name is Chelsea. I'm a huge fan of the show, both the bros and the broads. When you started the Plug Something segment, I knew I wanted to send you my book. For about a year and a half, I worked on self-publishing children's book, and I was finally able to have it printed in July. Congratulations, Chelsea. I'm a single mom, and it's been just my daughter and I since she was born. I've struggled with my mental health for a long time, and after my daughter was born, I hit an all-time low. It took some time and I still struggle, but it was really my daughter who helped me. Our love and special bond helped fade my feelings of unworthiness and inspired me to write this first book. My hope is that it will encourage those in single-parent families and remind each reader to hold on tight to their loved ones. I wanted to let you both know that as someone who grew up without her father in her life and now raising my daughter on my own, I really respect and appreciate you guys. How you guys talk about and take care of your kiddos. They're seriously lucky to have you. That's very sweet for us. Anyway, if the broads are interested, they can grab a copy of my book at www.chelseawilliamswrites.com. Use code CHATTY for a free gift with purchase. Okay, this was my way too long, and I don't understand that. This was my way too long, and these papers aren't the same size, so I'll end with my way too long note or something. And I'll end with a thank you for doing this. You've probably already seen, but I included copies for your families. Have a great week, guys.
Wow, what a beautiful story.
That's a sweet note.
Chelsea.
I appreciate the background story.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Sorry you have to deal with that, Chelsea, but also sometimes
Very
our
cool.
trials, dude, look at these. Dude, the kids are going to freak out over these December stickers.
Oh yeah.
Lots of stickers.
Cool. This is a great gift.
Yeah,
This is a great
I
plug
really
something.
like the wrapping. She cut up newspapers or something for the wrapping, which is really nice.
That is nice. It's recycled.
Well done.
Thank you, Chelsea. Okay. Now, on first look, a little creeped out. All I'm going to say. I don't know what this is exactly, but it's a little concerning. We'll see. Valued customer. Let's see. This is all I see here.
What the
Like a doll head. So I'm just going to maybe because we just talked about dolls earlier. This is my unboxing.
Where did Evan?
What? No.
I brought
No,
this one.
No, I know. This was sent to my house, and I don't know how that's possible. This one was sent to my house. It says Chatty Bros on it, but it has my address. I do not know how. I do not know.
So, guys, all of our stuff, the only address people have to send to us is to my gym because it's like a public-facing address. People don't have our personal addresses, but that's why I grabbed this because I brought this box the other week.
Yeah,
but this one I was not sent.
That one showed up at my house. I do not know how. Please don't. That's creepy. Okay. It says, thank you so much for adopting Glenna and Clara. I hope they're good for you. Y'all form a tight bond.
What the fuck, dude? We talked.
Love, Abigail. Thank you for your business. We just talked about creepy dolls being sent to you.
We talked about creepy notes being sent to us and how fucking your house, you already got creepy dolls sent to your fucking house, dude. Stop.
Dude, okay. Bro.
Fuck you. What the hell?
No.
Did you guys buy these?
I swear to God, I did not. No note.
Dude,
No. And these are like used, by the way.
I don't like this.
This is not like there's no like business thing on here. There's no like, this is my company, whatever, dolls.
What do you mean?
This is just two random dolls.
You mean there's nothing in here?
There's nothing that
Stop.
says anything about what this is.
Stop. What are the newspaper pages? Are there clues? What the fuck newspaper is this from?
There's just two dolls.
Bullshit newspaper. What the fuck, dude? What is freedom? Why did we serve our country? Dude, this is scary.
What is happening?
Does common
Now,
sense still exist? Dude, these are the tabloids. These are the headlines of this.
Okay, so here, can I just clarify something? Whoever Abigail is, would have loved like some sort of explanation, like, hey, I hand make dolls, or I find vintage dolls and I sell them, something. But just send, and also we have an address where people are supposed to send things, but these just show up to my house, no explanation, and it just says, thank you for adopting these two dolls that have names. So I'm not,
What are their
maybe
names?
this was a misstep, but I would just love to know what is going on here.
Dude, this one's legs. This one really freaks me out.
So anyway,
This one, dude, they both really fucking...
with the right context, it's not
Does this
scary.
one go
With
in
no
here?
context, it's a little scary.
What was the doll like that you guys got sent that you were freaked out by, that was like, came with the photo of the house that was really creepy?
I don't remember it, but it was like this kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Does this one go in here?
This one kind of looks like Ember.
Shut the fuck up, dude. This one kind of like before she cut her hair's coming.
Honestly, it kind of looks like Ruth and Ember.
Oh, I feel like throwing up.
Someone, please give us an explanation, because we're a little creeped out right now. We love you, broads.
I'm definitely not taking this home.
I'm not. I don't want it. I'm terrified.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't
I'm not
know.
taking it
I'm gonna get
home.
an exorcist. Well, guys, this was a fun episode, and
It was fun.
please, whoever sent this,
Send us a follow up, just like
just
DM
a
us or
follow
some
up
shit.
DM
Dude,
of
this
like,
is
hey,
not
by the
tight.
way, this was not meant to creep you out. This is just, I forgot to tell you that I run a business of some sorts,
Also, how you got our address.
and how you got my address is concerning. So, we love you, broads. We wish you a good weekend, and I'm gonna go sage this room in my house now. Peace and love. Chat soon.
Should we actually burn them? Purify them with fire?
I don't know, but this one looks like Ember, and that one
And
looks like
like
Ruth.
all this stuff
I'm a
you're
little
supposed to
concerned
burn
right now.
shit like this. You're supposed to like bury it and burn it or something.
Okay.
Not
Okay,
into
peace
it.
and love.
Fire purifies, but it always looks like it's looking at me. I don't like it.
Chat soon.